under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call to get it. Need somebody to make a motion to approve the previous minutes?
Well, go ahead. I'll make the motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Citizens report. Is there any citizen here that wants to give a report now before this council addresses other issues? PBS? Yeah.
Kim, did you check on those liens for 240 Shelby
I
Street?
did, and I sent them a letter, gave them to the middle of the month or so to get back with me on.
They did pay them or not?
They've not been paid.
Okay, all right.
I think they just changed hands earlier this year, and his leaves were from last year.
So we will eventually get them? We have 5 new cases in April, mostly overgrown grass. So far in May, there are 6 new cases, mostly overgrown grass, with the exception of 107 Rhoman. They have a trailer that's backed up between the two houses with, there's a mattress and all kinds of stuff on it. The house has been vacant for years. The grass is overgrown in the rear of the property, and apparently there's obnoxious odors coming from the property as well.
On Rhoman?
On Rhoman, it used to be the Allen property, Craig Allen,
Oh.
the tree service.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you send the paperwork in a PDFs for the Z21? That
Yes,
application?
yeah, I signed it electronically. I did it electronically.
Okay, okay.
I signed it.
We have a new code enforcement officer, Wyatt Parker. And is anyone pursuing the delinquent rental licenses? Those should be turned over to PDS for collection.
Yeah, not now. We're still getting some coming in.
Yeah, but
Payments.
I mean,
Yeah.
well, based on the financial, it looks like we haven't collected as much as we should have.
I'll look at that, see what we got.
Okay. I don't have anything else on there.
Okay, police committee, Cody did send something. Where did he? No, I just got these reports. He didn't send a thing in, did he say, Cody? Wrong page. Okay, his reports, he's got 1 parking citation, 1 traffic citation, no arrests, no major incidents. He had calls for service 80, vacation checks for 40, fire assist 15, parking complaints 3, traffic stops 7, other calls for service 25. Okay, that's all I got of that. Fire department, I didn't see anything on that, did you? I know I've been advised that Mike Stewart has been selected as chief. So I'm sure once you get your things, he'll be back here. I'll have a talk with him.
Hey, Mike, on the last fire department contract that was apparently approved in late December,
Mhm.
why didn't council vote on that? Do you know? I went back through the minutes and I didn't see where we
I think
took
it
a
was
vote.
in December,
Yeah, there was
or November. wasn't it?
November and December, there was no vote taken. I was just curious why we didn't take a vote.
I don't know how we missed that.
I went back through the minutes and I didn't see where we did take a vote.
I know I did an authorization for the mayor to sign.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I don't think council ever voted on it. I don't know if that's an issue or not an issue.
At this point, it expires in another few weeks. Did y'all get that new contract that I sent?
Okay. Whole committee, Diane?
I talked with the guy on the tables today, Patrick, and I'm waiting to see, did you get a dry waller?
Well, we thought we had one, but he backed out on us. So
Okay.
now Mike's in the process of getting 2 more bids.
And I have two appointments next
Yeah.
week.
Do we want to get the tables ordered now?
I think we can. I
Yeah.
think there's enough in the
Okay.
budget based on the price he gave us. I think that's a good price. So,
Okay,
yeah, there's enough in the budget to do it.
all right.
And
Then-
the electrician is still working on the bid,
Yes.
Mike,
Yeah.
for us.
What's really kind of holding stuff up is the drywall. The electrician can't really do a whole heck of a lot other than get us a quote. And I tried to get a quote from everybody so that we could set a good number for the upcoming fiscal year's budget. And it just, the timing wasn't good, so Mike and I talked about it and we put a number together that hopefully is a good
Close
number
enough
for us.
number.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and try to order the,
Mhm. Yeah, we're not changing that, that's set.
Okay.
What you've got there.
okay, and I've done nothing on the carpet until
Right,
further down.
right.
Okay,
That it?
that's it, yes.
Right. Okay, Dave, road light.
Road and light, we received another invoice for the lighting. That'll be taken care of. Also, there's 2 catch basins in town. One is down at the end of Pleasant Street on Pike Street. That's gonna have to be altered in order to eliminate that flooding in the curbway to the best that we can. The additional flooding in there is just simply a road resurfacing project that the state did. The other one's down on Shelby Street. Bob got a price on that from Tony, and I checked with the mayor, and he said it was okay to move forward with that, so the price was very good. The other catch basin, I reached out to Locker, and they said that they were in a busy part of the season, so it would take a while for them to get back down here, and then they'd have to mobilize, and it would be expensive. The price that I got from Bob and from Tony, if they do the same thing down there, it's only $2,500 for each catch basin. And that will resolve both issues. The speed bumps are in, and they seem to be mounted very securely. And I assume they're working, so if anybody has any input that's on the street where they are, they're working. Feel free to.
There's one right in front of my house.
Yeah.
I keep looking up because I see people slow down. I'm like, are they staring at me? What are they doing? And then I realize, oh yeah, there's a speed bump there.
It's working on Rhoman too.
Good.
They still like to, when I stop
I'd
sign.
like to recommend that we get some for the Shelby Street Rec Park.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going, especially with the amount of people that have been in the park, they're still speeding. No matter the number of cars parked or what, there's still people through there.
I say we get 2 more, put one on Shelby Street mid-park, and then the other one we'll have as backup. Okay, we'll work on it.
Can I explain something to you about Pike Street?
Yeah.
Yesterday, before that heavy rainstorm came yesterday, I met Tony down there, and we were looking at that drain. There is a riser in there, so we could lift everything off and replace it. The only problem is it's a 6-inch riser, and they only come in increments of 2 inches. So we'd have to drop down to a 4, and that would lower the grade 2 inches below ground, which is nothing but a trap for debris. So what Tony did was he got his saw, and he had made like a few cuts in there.
Yeah.
He took out about 9 inches of blacktop and made a path right there. After that rainstorm, I drove down there was hardly any water down there at all.
Good.
There's going to be a puddle
Right.
about this wide up against there because you can see where the ground slopes like that.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you drive down Pike Street and into Elm Street, and they're all the way down the road. Almost every block.
Right.
You're seeing puddles. So there's nothing really you can do
The individual complaining about that, they've moved their parking all the way down around the bend, almost to Waffles driveway. And that curb should be painted yellow anyway, to where traffic has access to get through there.
Right.
And then that individual won't even have a place to park. So I've tried to work with them to the best that we can, so we may have to do that.
But I think, I think what he, I mean, if we didn't have to drop that inlet that far down, it would probably be a wise thing to go ahead and replace the riser with, the narrower one, but
Well,
I just think it's.
If I'm not mistaken, you can use like a chimney block, which is approved by SD1 for raising catch basins and some manholes and everything, if you can't get the proper riser ring. So if you guys find a way to block it up, or if you want to form it and just pour a riser, whatever height you need it, feel free to do so.
Well, you want to give it a little
Yeah,
time to see what happens.
I think clearing that hump off for the
Yeah.
channel of the curb
Right.
may work just fine. Thank you.
Bob, you have anything you want to bring up?
No.
All right, Kim, you're right.
Already. Okay, I guess we have the second reading of ordinance 4124, an ordinance establishing a sidewalk cost share program within the City of Bromley, Kenton County, Kentucky. Whereas by ordinance, property owners are completely responsible for maintaining the sidewalks adjacent to their property, which includes sidewalks that run along public streets. And whereas well-maintained sidewalks provide for pedestrian safety and reduce property owner liability. And whereas well-maintained sidewalks improve the appearance of neighborhoods and increase property value. And whereas the City of Bromley desires to institute a cost share program to encourage property owners to repair sidewalks that are currently in disrepair. Now therefore be ordained by the City of Bromley as follows. Section 1, there is hereby created within the City of Bromley a cost share sidewalk improvement program on terms and conditions set forth in attachment A. The city sidewalk cost share program incorporated herein by reference. Section 2, eligibility for participation in the cost share sidewalk improvement program and the amount of funds to which any applicant is entitled under the program will be determined by the mayor of the city and the chairpersons of the Bromley Road and Light Committee and Ways and Means Committee based upon program requirements and any issues related to engineering. Written notice regarding eligibility will be provided to applicants at the address provided in the application required by the program. Section 3, any person aggrieved by a decision of the mayor and chairs of the Road and Light Committee and Ways and Means Committee shall have the right to appeal to the legislative body. The appeal shall be taken by filing with the legislative body within 14 days after notice of the decision has been mailed to such person's last known address. A written statement setting forth the grounds for the appeal. The legislative body shall set a time and place for the hearing, and notice of such hearing shall be given to such person at least 7 days prior to the hearing. The order of the legislative body after the hearing shall be final. Section 4, ordinances in conflict are to the extent of such conflict repealed. Section 5, the invalidity of any section, subsection, or sentence of the ordinance shall not affect the remainder. Section 6, this ordinance shall take effect and be in full force from and after its passage, approval, and publication according to law. That's the second reading of that, Mayor.
Okay, that's it.
Is that for 124?
Yes, sir.
All right, we need a motion except for 124,
I'll make a motion that for 124 ordinance.
ordinance. Second. All right, all in favor?
Roll call.
Also have resolution 5120.
When-
Yes, for roll call.
She writes.
President Alfani.
And who was second?
Hmm?
Who was second? I
Oh,
didn't hear it.
yeah.
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
Yes.
Resolution 5124, resolution of the City of Bromley, Kenton County, Kentucky, adopting the Northern Kentucky Regional Hazard Mitigation Plan. Whereas the City of Bromley recognizes that the threat of natural hazards posed to people and property within Bromley And whereas the city has prepared a multi-hazard mitigation plan, hereby known as the Northern Kentucky Regional Hazard Mitigation 2024, in accordance with federal laws, including the Robert T. Stafford Disaster Relief and Emergency Assistance Act as amended, the National Flood Insurance Act of 1968 as amended, and the National Dam Safety Program Act as amended. And whereas the Northern Kentucky Regional Hazard Mitigation Plan 2024 identifies mitigation goals and actions to reduce or eliminate long-term risk to people and property in Bromley from the impacts of future hazards and disasters. And whereas adoption by the City of Bromley demonstrates its commitment to hazard mitigation and achieving the goals outlined in the Northern Kentucky Regional Hazard Mitigation Plan 2024, now therefore be resolved by the City of Bromley, Kentucky, that in accordance with the existing procedures for adoption of resolutions, the City of Bromley adopts the Northern Kentucky Regional Hazard Mitigation Plan 2024. While content related to the City of Bromley may require revisions to meet plan approval requirements, changing occurring after adoption will not require the city to re-adopt any further iterations of the plan. Subsequent plan updates following the approval period for this plan will require separate adoption resolutions. This is something that was, I guess, put together by the Ed District. I think all the cities are in the process of adopting this.
Okay, we need a motion to accept resolution 5/124.
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Do y'all want to do the budget ordinance now, or wait till
Yeah, we
ways
can,
and meetings?
Doesn't matter, like, if you want,
Doesn't
we'll come
make-
back to
makes no
it.
difference.
I'm sure we're gonna be discussing it, so.
Okay,
Yeah. What else do you want right there?
do it now.
Huh?
Do it now.
No, so what else do you want to go over?
Oh, I got just a few other odds and ends here. I got a check for some code enforcement liens here on the property at 9 Boone Street. Mr. Roseberry, I think, took care of 7 a month or 2 ago. This takes care of the liens on 9. The check is $8,001.94. I've got a statement in here for the preparation and reporting of the releases.
Okay.
I don't know if y'all had a chance to look at this fire contract yet. I made a couple of changes just because I was never real comfortable with a couple of things, and they weren't anything major. For instance, in paragraph 4, it previously read that Ludlow agrees to provide ALB or ALS and BLS services. It didn't mention fire protection services, so I added that. And I think the other changes I made were as far as the payments, and I think I got those right. So I don't know if you want to approve this tonight or wait until the June meeting.
No, I think just we don't need to go ahead and move on it, you know. So we just need a motion to accept the contract.
Yeah.
Okay, so somebody want to make a motion, we accept the
Motion.
second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Gail mentioned that property at 240 Shelby, and there was a new owner as of, I think, February or March, and there's liens that were in effect before then. I don't know if they didn't have a title report or just didn't pay any attention to it. I did send them a letter. As far as that area up there at the Workman property that was closed a few months ago, I checked with PDS, and because at any time that you have a lot that you split up and give to different people, they require that has to go through their review and process and reassignment of PIDN numbers and all that business. So, and I asked them if that was something that we could just kind of put together ourselves, and they said, no, you're probably going to have to have an engineer put it together. So I talked to Chris Workman about it, and as we talked about it, he indicated that Larry and Tim really had no interest in that. So I told him if that was the case, and if they would sign something called a quitclaim deed, which is just a deed that says, whatever interest I have in this, I'm giving to whoever the grantee is, then I think we can probably go ahead and record the deed to Chris with those quitclaim deeds, and that should eliminate the need to have that engineer put the plat together and everything. So I was going to see if council would go ahead and authorize you to sign this deed, Mayor, then I've got another deed for
property up there. I've spoken to a municipal attorney regarding this, and he brought up an interesting point. If this was really a street, why are there easements on it? Because there would be no need for a street to have
You know,
easements.
I never approached this as being a street. It was a public way, is what it was. And that's the statute that we proceeded under, was a statute that talks about closure of public way. I don't think it's ever been used as a street.
Well, the minutes reflect that we were closing a street, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, we have no proof, no documentation to prove that this was a public way, as you like to call it. But we do have the recorded deed at the courthouse that says this is a lot H of the road subdivision. So how can we call it a public way?
Well, because from what I understand, and from the people that have been here talking about the cemetery, that's one of the ways that they access the cemetery. And there was a specific easement to the city for people to enter upon and cross upon that lot.
So there's two easements, one for SB1.
There's one for SB1, and there was another easement before that for this, for people to cross it, or to, I forget the exact language, to travel upon or cross upon the lot.
I just think there's not enough, in my opinion, there's not enough information to substantiate what we're doing, but it's done.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and move. Does the council want to approve that we go ahead with this deed? With the deed?
Motion that authorize the mayor to sign the deeds.
Okay. All in favor? Or second? I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Second. All in favor?
Roll call.
All right. Okay.
No.
Diane?
We'll stay with
Okay.
it.
Okay. Dave?
Yes.
And yeah.
Yes.
I also received the master commissioner deed to the lots up in the park. The master signed it. I just need to get the mayor to sign this so we can get that recorded. And then we can go ahead and follow up with, what do you think that's grant money? I just have to sign this.
Was that master commissioner deed for the park? I seen that.
Yeah.
Is it?
This will-
Okay. I've got this too. Look at that one account.
Oh, I think we do this every year.
Yeah.
Just sign it and try to take care of this one.
What was that after the hand?
It's a master commissioner deed to those lots up in the park. The only other thing I have, and I think you mentioned before, I followed up with Megan Betsy about the Z2021, and she said that they should have that on their June planning commission docket. So once that happens, we should get the ordinance back and go ahead and adopt that. Oh, and I also, there was a motion last month about compensation for the council. When I looked into this, there's an ordinance that says that that has to be done by the first Monday in May of every year, or any year that the officer is elected. And so we obviously didn't get that done. If you want, I can go ahead and calendar this later on in the year, next year, to do that at that point.
Make that one go.
What would it be for next year?
I'm sorry.
It would be.
It says legislative body of each city shall be fixed, shall by ordinance fix the compensation not later than the first Monday in May in the year the officer is elected.
So we would have to wait, what, 2 years before
Well,
we do
and you can do it any time after.
that? Okay, so it would be not this incoming council, but council.
The one
next.
after that.
So we could okay it next month?
I mean, you can pass an ordinance, go ahead and do it.
We could do it now, you mean?
I can make a note to bring it up at the end of the year, or next year, in plenty of time. Okay. And I think that's all I have.
Okay.
Except the budget.
Mayor, this is a resolution for the municipal aid. Just showing verification that we will, what money is allocated to us under mutual aid, that we will spend it on the roadways and proper necessities. And it it gives you the empowerment to make that call, but this is just something that they've started in the last 3 years.
This ain't the thing where we gotta have a meeting to see what money's to be.
No, but what they do want on there, the back page has,
Just something that.
yays and nays, to our council. We'll have you pass that resolution, we can go ahead and have all of those documented and then the clerk can sign it.
Okay, then, we need to go ahead and do that then. Does somebody wanna make a motion, we go ahead and accept the, municipal road aid program?
Being as it's in my budget, I'll go ahead and make a motion that we accept the municipal aid and show rightful use of it.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, parking playground, Tim, is that what you're saying?
He's got a man coming next week for the fencing between
Okay.
the goal basketball and soccer. And he's also got, on order the rock facing and the topping for the wall at the memorial.
Okay.
And the fencing, yeah, he's coming next week.
Okay, great, thank you, Tim.
The fencing's going the long way of the basketball, running with Pike Street, or
No. It will go right behind the goal that's between the goal and the soccer field.
oh, okay, okay.
To keep the ball from,
Okay, so don't go out the side?
no,
Okay.
no, just down that side to
Okay.
keep it.
Okay.
I feel like that's been where the problem has been.
Insurance and grants?
I you skip ways and means.
Huh?
You skip ways and means.
Oh, shit, I did, didn't I? Okay. All right. Ways and means.
That's okay.
Take the floor.
That's all right. I don't need first on the financial reports that we received. But the financials look fine. 2 months to go, our expenditures are approximately 88%, while our revenues are lagging behind at approximately 76%. I'm pretty sure that's due to that us not receiving reimbursement for the grant, $75,000 yet. And it looks like we might be pushing that into the next fiscal year, but I'm gonna try my best to get it done before the fiscal year. But I think we talked at our budget meeting that we better move it into the next year just in case. The biggest reason I'm saying we may need to do that is that unfortunately, the young lady that I was working with since 2017 on this grant, unfortunately she passed away. And there's new people down there, they're training people, I'm training them. I don't think we're in any trouble whatsoever. The person I finally have now been in touch with, and she's awesome too. She's helping us get there. And now that this is done with the deeds, Kim will be able to finalize that limitation of use form that was necessary to submit first before we even submit for reimbursement. So hopefully we'll get going with that. And then as far as the budget is concerned, Mike and Terry and I worked feverishly a couple weeks ago on it, and it took some fine tuning, but Terry got it out yesterday, I think. So everybody should have received a memo from Mike explaining some of the things that he'd like to accomplish this year. And hopefully everybody had a chance to read it and hopefully understand it. So I guess open it up to the floor.
Anybody got any questions on it?
We're talking about the budget or?
The budget.
Well, I'd like to address you. I'm not sure why you felt the need to call me out in your budget letter regarding my request for code enforcement.
Well, I'd just let you know what I was doing.
I
That's all I
understood,
knew.
but you misinterpreted what I asked for. I asked for proactive 2 times a year, once in the spring and once in the fall. Let me finish. I'm fine with you denying it, but I'm not fine that you misstated what I was requesting.
Okay, well, maybe I just misunderstood it, okay?
And I,
And I still didn't even want him here for 2 weeks. I just think that this is a bad time to get that going. As small as this city is, Gail, there is no reason within 5 minutes somebody can drive or walk around this whole city, and if they see an issue, address it with the city. Am I right or wrong?
that's true, but we are professionals, that's why we pay.
That's why we contact PBS if we think something's wrong. They're our professional agency.
And, you know, infrastructure improvements are necessary, so is the property maintenance of the properties or your infrastructure. It's a new point, but, you know, I don't appreciate being called out, and you misstated what I requested, and I don't appreciate it.
Well, okay, well, I'll take that, but I don't like what you're saying because I wouldn't explain to you why I did that.
I understand, I don't.
And still you take offense when I try to explain to you.
I'm not taking offense. I told you I'm okay with the I told you I was okay with the denial. I am not okay with the fact that my request was misstated. I did not request full-time because I know we cannot afford to do that.
It was an accident, and I talked to PBS about it, and they advised me against it. I took their, and I just said, okay, I'm done with it.
You know, you didn't call out anybody else's request in the statement. I mean, it wasn't necessary.
Okay, all right, I'll take it advice on, move on.
And I do have some other questions about the budget as, do we have a money market, not a money market, a CD?
300,000, something like that.
That's a money market, isn't it?
Yeah, money market.
Okay, why, it's a small fee, but there's, in the budget, $500 to cash out a CD.
I'll have to check on that for you. I can't answer it tonight.
And we have that 300,000, but you chose just to carry forward 76,000.
Do what?
There's, in the checking account for the general fund, there's $389,000.
In that money market.
No, there's 302 in the money market, I believe, and 76 in the checking account
Right,
itself.
that's correct.
Okay, so you only opted to carry forward 76 and not the amount for the money market as well?
No,
So you're not carrying that amount forward? Is that on reserve?
that's on reserve, yeah.
Okay.
That's always been done that way.
Since
Yes,
you've been doing it, that's fine.
Okay, then since Terry has taken control of the,
Okay,
okay,
That's fine,
not me.
that's fine. Do we not put the expenditure in to remove the siren that we talked about last week?
I have not got, I contacted a roofer, he got up on there to look at it, and I'm trying to get a cost.
Okay.
All right.
Also, on the income side of the general fund, there's a $1,500 budgeted item for collection fees for paid fines / property taxes. If it's a collection fee, would that not be an expense as opposed to an income?
It's in there the way you've had it in there for years. That's nothing new. But I know, I'll check on it.
I haven't done the budget in
I know, just about every.
6 or 8 years.
Okay, that's fine.
Whatever.
Collection fee.
Also, in the road fund, there's a fee for Kim for collecting taxes. Are we still collecting taxes pre-sheriff? Because the sheriff is selling our tax bills.
There's a few left, but not many.
Okay, okay.
I would say less than a handful.
Okay. I think that's all I have on the list.
And I had no idea what the sheriff has available in any list of the taxes.
My understanding is anything that's delinquent they sell, with the exception of the few that they can't sell. Yeah.
I thought they were supposed to pay us the amount for all the taxes, and then they go after what taxes.
I believe that's the way it's
Yeah,
works.
so we should be still getting what we're supposed to be.
So there shouldn't be any city taxes.
Is that all you know?
Oh, audit report presentation is
She's still trying to get it.
Okay. All right. Other than that, I don't have anything.
Does any other council member have any questions on the budget? If not, I'd like to, somebody make a motion to accept the budget.
I'll make a motion to accept the budget.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
One quick thing, on the salaries, are you gonna reverse that out since we can't do the salary increase?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
On the salaries, are you going to reverse that out since we can't do the salary increase this year? For next year?
We'll have to, yeah.
Adjust that.
Yeah, we can do that. Good catch, good catch. Good catch.
I'll go ahead and read the ordinance.
Okay.
Ordinance 5124, an ordinance adopting a budget for the fiscal year 2024-2025 for the City of Bromley, Kentucky. Be ordained by the City of Bromley, Kentucky, Section 1, that pursuant to the requirements of the Kentucky Constitution and Kentucky Revised Statutes, the City of Bromley, Canton County, Kentucky does hereby adopt the budget for the fiscal year from July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2025, and incorporates herein by reference attachment A attached hereto as fully set forth, which attachment A shall be the budget of the city for said fiscal year. Section 2, all ordinances in conflict or to the extent of such conflict repealed. Section 3, the invalidity of any section, subsection, or sentence of the ordinance shall not affect the remainder. Section 4, this ordinance shall take effect and be in full force from and after its passage, approval, and publication according to law.
What's in there?
First reading.
First reading of budget, 5124. I make a motion to accept ordinance number 5124.
I'll make a motion that we accept 5124.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay,
I
Andrew.
would like to make one just quick general statement, and I was going to keep it to myself, but I'm not going to. When I turned in all the requests for the budgets from everybody, including yours, your request, I had that at the PDFs in there. Mike looked at it and said, wait a minute, I already told her I wasn't going to do that. So was there not a conversation prior to
There
that?
was not a conversation. You told me we wouldn't, it's been a couple years ago when I asked about proactive,
Okay,
full-time, he said no.
but you didn't have a prior conversation prior to this request that you submitted to me in
I
writing?
did not.
I thought I told you I didn't want to go proactive, period.
No, you said you didn't want to go proactive full-time.
Full time, right, yeah. I just did.
So there was a conversation?
Yeah.
Full-time, but we never discussed
Okay,
part-time.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I was
Now-
under,
now
I was
I
under the
understand.
explanation
Now I
that it was full
understand.
time, I
My-
didn't know.
my-
Now I
My request
understand.
actually says, request of code enforcement to be proactive
I know.
twice per year.
I hear you. All right.
Okay.
I just want a clarification from it, because, you know,
Okay. Anything else, Mike?
that's it.
Okay, Andy?
Nothing really on grants right now, but the insurance policy has been renewed finally. And we added in the camera systems, I think an increased value to this building because of the renovations that are being done. And the new library box, food pantry, we have been added to the policy as well. The concession we had on there is sort of a preliminary thing during the last renewal, so there was a partial value there. That's been added to the policy at full value now too, based on numbers that Mike provided to me. So, so that's all.
And, I did get your stuff about if we were gonna hire some young teenagers about, doing some part-time work in the city of Bromley, that we had to follow all the labor relation laws.
As it pertains to minors,
Yes,
yeah.
law pertains to minors, so there's a process that we have to go through to do that. When we need to do it, at least I know that we can do that.
Oh,
We gotta
we
go by-
can, yeah.
We gotta go by these strict laws,
You just can only work them so many hours.
Right, yeah.
And that's really the major restriction.
You have someone in mind, obviously, that you.
No, I've been, Bob's threw this out to me a few times, and I just really didn't look into it, and then I want to get the, information from the insurance first, in case it comes up that we see need, or the council member says, hey, you think we can get somebody over here to do this little work, I just want to be able to have it already in process, Is there anything else, Andy?
You're not going to work on past, like any certain hours, are you, the minors?
No.
Like,
it'd just be something on a weekend or something like that, you know.
'Cause I think you can work them later during non-school
Right.
time, so summertime, so,
Right. Mhm.
yeah, I don't have anything,
Well, an issue, remember I kind of wanted to hash around about insurance for us, the parade. Did you get any
Again,
feedback?
I left a message with,
I don't know
Our
if the
adjuster,
city
but I haven't
ever
heard
did
back.
anything like that before when the city comes through the town, or if we just have to buy our insurance company, there's a parade coming through the town. You know, I didn't know, you know what I mean, so I was trying,
As far as I know, we've never done
that
that.
might.
I've done a festival before, I threw a beer festival
Mhm.
before, and we did it as the city,
Yeah.
and we had a special, we had a sort of an addendum to our policy that was a special event coverage. That was mostly because alcohol was being served. At that, anything else it should fall under general liability, but
I just wanted to double check.
I'll try to get with you again tomorrow, I'll let you know.
And-
I haven't heard anything on the tree right now.
Oh,
It
nothing.
closed on April 5th, so I don't know when the award comes out or not.
Hopefully you're surprised in a few weeks it comes through. you know.
Right, it would be nice. One quick question, did we put heat and air in the concession stand?
Yes. The only reason we did that is because, one of the main reasons is the camera system.
Yeah.
It can't get up in the 90s or we'll lose we could lose everything down
We
there.
had that happen already.
Yes, you know, they'll overheat the, what's it called, the DVR or
Yeah, the DVR.
DVR. So, yeah, I did that just to protect what we put in down. I didn't do it, the American Service did it, because they did one upstairs here.
The other reason was the way that Les was shutting the place down for winter.
Yeah.
He took apart just about every joint in that thing, and now we're having some issues. He's taking care of it.
Leaking, yeah.
He's taking it. Now that you put it back together, now there's a slow leak popping up here, and a leak popping up over there. It's just,
Because we don't want it totally shut the heat totally off anymore, because everything has to be taken apart. Then he's got to put it back together, and we had several leaks after he took it apart last year, so now we're just gonna leave it there and leave the heat sit on 40 degrees.
So is it also in the restroom area as well?
Yes, no, that had heat in it to begin with.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
we put little
like two
electric
little wall heaters.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no air conditioning in there.
No, yeah, no air conditioning, yeah.
Don't make it too convenient, do you?
I knew I'd start.
Sorry. Something on the mayor's report, bring it up. It is the City of Bromley's turn to have the Memorial Day Parade. Okay, Ludlow's gonna have a short service up at their monument. We're gonna drop the wreath off, and we'll come down here and we'll finish it. All the stuff is gonna happen down here at our monument at the park. So it'd be nice to see, you know, all you guys, you know, come down there. Afterwards, the concession stand will be open. We're gonna have hot dogs, water, chips, and some burgers, right? That's all we're having, you know, for the people, for the parade, or some residents that wanna, the only thing we don't know for sure is what to expect. Is it gonna be 100, you know what I mean, 150? You know, well, we thought with the hot dogs, we could buy enough and just freeze the rest of them, use them for another event, something like that. But it'd be nice to see everybody come down there and just walk around, you know what I mean, take a look at the concession stand and see what all was done.
I met with the health department yesterday, and he went over what's needed for us to be able to do that, so we got that all covered, and actually we talked about, the different, I guess, things we can do. You can get a temporary, license or whatever it is, certificate, or a full food service. So he went through the whole shebang, and we're not going anywhere full food service, because you have to have triple bolt sinks, you have to have grease traps, you have to have
Right.
all kinds of stuff. So, but the information he gave me was really good. You know, we'll be in pretty good shape.
Is there a way we can get that out to people who may not have Facebook?
What's that?
The information about the
Parade.
and,
Well,
yeah.
actually, there is there's a girl who's gonna pass around flyers, walk around, and
Good.
Yeah, they do have flyers, and then
I mean, I'd be
you can
willing
post
to
them in
have-
places here in Bromley. That would be, bird's eye view, for instance, in front of the city building, and then the small businesses here in Bromley. need the keyhole, I'm sure he would put it on his door and window. But other than small businesses, I'm sort of stuck on
But
those.
have you already posted on?
Yeah, I put
On
it on
Facebook, but I don't think there's a,
But there was
there are
yeah.
a lot of people who
Yeah.
don't have Facebook, so.
That's true.
Didn't we buy an electronic sign for the building?
Yeah,
We're getting there.
yeah.
But I mean, I think if we all take our own street or something and pass them out on our street.
There was a girl at the meeting that volunteered to walk around and,
Yeah.
put on people's doors, but we don't want them to do it real early. We said maybe 2 weeks before the event or
Okay.
something where people can hit.
Yeah, that's a good
So-
idea. I'd walk around and put it on
Yeah, I
the
would too.
Well, she just volunteered to do it all, you know what I
All
mean?
right, well, she needs
She
help.
lives here in Bromley too, but I can't think what her name is.
That's not Addie?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Addie Nance.
Yeah.
Okay, that's her name. She agreed to go to put them on all the doors. He said, great, you know.
This is for the parade, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, before we want to, I know you come a little late. Is there anything that you want to address with the council? Are you fine?
Just unless people have questions about, I don't know if people want to know kind of what we're doing with the block party or.
It would be nice.
Okay,
Fill
go.
everybody in.
Sure. So so we have a committee of people, and I guess to kind of back up, so we started it last year, kind of small, just to gauge interest. But in order to have a way to get funds and buy stuff, we had to form a nonprofit. So I learned how to form a nonprofit. So we worked with an attorney, I worked with an attorney, so we formed a nonprofit organization called Bromley Revitalization Organization. And the purpose of it, basically, we have bylaws and articles of incorporation, but the gist of it is that our big event will be the block party every year. We'll use that as a way to raise money. Hopefully it'll take us a year or two to raise enough that we've got money left over after we pay our bills. And then the point is that we would then have that money that we could work with you all on how would you like to see us, how would you all like to spend that money? So basically the nonprofit is set up to help with the revitalization of Bromley, and it would be city council that would determine what we're gonna do with that money. So you all would, we'd work with you all to decide what's the best use of those funds. We just want to keep enough, we're a nonprofit, nobody's trying to make any money off of it. We want to keep enough money in the bank each year so that we can foot the, expenses, all of our expenses, prior to the actual event, because we're, last year we had someone else take on the food and the beer, and we did not make any money off of that. So, we're gonna do that this year, where we're gonna buy the fish, we're gonna fry it, we're gonna have volunteers doing it, we're gonna buy the beer, we're gonna have volunteers selling it, so that the proceeds go back to the nonprofit. And then that way, we can, once we pay our bills and hopefully have some money left, and as it grows, that'll be more and more money each year, hopefully for the city. My mom and Gary Lynn and a group of people from Bromley, and they said, we'd love to do it, but we don't know anything about doing events. And I've worked in nonprofit my whole career. I worked doing fundraising events for the American Cancer Society for 25 years. So she said, well, my daughter knows how to do it, so I got involved. Even though I don't live here still, but it's the street fair has a special place in my heart. I remember good times as a kid. So we're just hoping that we can, bring it back, and another generation can experience it, and that we can just help fund some projects in the city, just to make it a better place for you guys to
Well, I
live
think,
and work.
Rhonda, making a big change is what you did, by you all handling the beer, the food, and everything like that. That's all money coming back to you. Last year was a learning experience. I thought that it would have been way better than it did, but it was a major breakdown. I mean, it was terrible.
Yes.
And I think we all learned from that.
Lessons learned, yeah, lessons learned.
Lessons learned.
Yeah.
I mean, it should have been way better, but I expect a lot better now. And the city's willing to help you all. You know what I mean? And we talked to Kim about it, and he's all okay with it and everything. So we're really looking forward to it. Hopefully everybody come out and support you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's gonna be great.
So we got, we will have some rides, carnival rides, a few, I think 3. I don't know exactly which ones yet. Debbie Jester's working on that, Debbie Lynn. And then we want to get some other nonprofits or some groups that would want to do some of the booths, even though we don't have formal booths, but like a cakewalk and a ring toss and all that, you know, games for the kids to play. And then we've got the band, the same band that was there last year, and we've got another band that's going to play before them. So we're trying to grow it. It's just still the one night, but hopefully it'll be all weekend again eventually.
Can you do betting like they do at St. Joe's Fest, like order bets? Is that
So we
included?
can, so the church, we're using their gaming license, so we'll have a raffle, we've got a raffle. And so the way I interpret the statute for the state, I reached out to Charitable Gaming and they just send me all these statutes to read, is that in order to get a charitable gaming license, you have to be a nonprofit in existence for 3 years. So we can't get our license yet until we've been in existence for 3 years. So the church is letting us use theirs, but you know, it's kind of limited what they're willing to let us do. So
If
we're
anyone
just
knows an organization that has a gaming license, two organizations can be at the same event.
Yeah.
They can bring their licenses there.
Yeah, yeah, so the church is splitting the money with us, like,
Yeah.
yeah, so if someone else wants to do that.
Everybody knows if it would help a lot if we could get some of those types of games in there.
So you're
Yeah.
just doing raffles, or you're gonna do a bingo too?
So, yeah, we can't do bingo, because the church doesn't have a license to do that. They don't
Yeah,
have
just
a
have a
license.
license for bingo.
So, we just have the raffle.
They have tightened the laws up like you wouldn't believe, even when it's tight with the fire department. I mean, it was tough. But there's things out there now, I mean, and once they get their gaming license, you know, they then can choose which one they want to
Yeah.
get. They can get a bingo license along with whatever.
Yes.
So they can get the whole shebang.
Yeah, we could do bingo, pull tabs, yeah.
All that stuff.
So did you form a 501c3? Is that?
Yeah, yeah, we just got that, that took a while to get back, but yes.
I just want to say thank you. I mean, this is a lot of work. I've done events before, and it's a lot. It's a
You did
big
hear-
time commitment.
You did hear they said, do you want to help?
We need volunteers. We're looking for volunteers to help, yeah.
I'll be talking.
Okay, great.
Okay, does anybody else want to address one?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion to accept the committee reports.
I'll make a motion to accept the mayor's report.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Anybody have any old business?
I do.
Yeah, no.
Mike, I mean, this thing may have gone to the wayside already, but I just want to bring up this thing about that property next to our house there.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening with it or what. I know I received a letter and I saw the division, and all I can tell you is I will not accept just what's next to my property. We've been maintaining that for 35 years. The people that live on the corner where Susan lived, they just moved in last year, never set foot on the alley. The ones who live next door to them, I think in all the years that they've lived there, I've seen him down every moment in front of his garage, maybe one time. And then it goes into Shirley's property. So the only thing I'll accept is everything, the entire alley that's adjacent to my property line. After that, as far as Shirley and Mrs. Jackson and what's his name, the other guy, the guy who was there with Kelly Winters.
Oh,
Zach, yeah.
Zach.
Quarterback.
They can fight that out themselves. But I'm guessing that, you know, there's nothing that you could do about that. But I'm not gonna participate unless I get what should be rightfully mine.
We only had 2 people question that, right, Mike? Yeah, Mark Pierce and I think who the other one was. But that's all we heard, you know,
Right.
so, I mean,
Probably need to sit down and discuss some kind of strategy to finalize it, I mean, one way or the other. We gotta do something, you know, I know you don't wanna just leave it in
But
limbo.
that's still mowing. We're mowing the whole thing all the way up to Zach's, to the end of Zach's.
It's a paper street.
Okay.
It's an alley, it's Cherry Alley, I found the information.
Was there a name? Was it
Cherry
named?
Alley, Cherry,
It's even got a name.
Cherry Alley.
And one thing I just want to make a point here, that since we moved in there, when we first moved in there, we got a little help from Chuck Pierce used to come down and do a little bit. What was the old guy's name that had a gun, used to do gun work?
Starts with a W, doesn't it? Ludwig,
Well, anyway, for a while he did, till he had a stroke or something. And then the old lady that used to live on the corner there, I can't remember her name either. She used to come down and do a little bit down there, you know? And then all of a sudden, everybody either got too old, got sick or something, and just walked away from it, and just left it to us. But I'm gonna go back, as far as I can remember, your dad, Bailey, Miller, Carl Reinhardt, all the mayors that presided during that time, not a one of them ever came to me and said, "Why are you doing this? You shouldn't have to do this." So we were never told not to do it. We were never told to do it, but never told that we didn't have to do it. So that's all I'm saying is, if we're gonna distribute that property up, let's be fair, and see if there's a way that we can find out and give it to the people who deserve it. I'm not asking for all of it. All I'm saying is, let me have what's adjacent to my property, the entire alley. I will not do a thing with it. I might put a gate up in the front, but the one family, the second family on Moore Street, that have that garage, if I put a gate on and lock it, he'll have a key to be able to get in there. So that's, just my tell you.
I don't know what to tell you, because when we sent the letters talking to every homeowner there, if they don't want to work with the city or contact us, what are we going to do? You know what I mean? We offered them something that we thought was fair, would be make everybody happy.
Well, would it be better if I filed a lawsuit against the city and then we settle out of court?
If that's what you feel, I mean.
I'm not saying that to be, I'm just saying, is that a solution to the problem?
No.
Yeah?
No. No, Bob, I feel for you. I lived down by my house for almost 30 years. I cut that big ass.
I know you did.
And it's not mine, but the only reason I do that is for my own, I don't want weeds, all that stuff growing up, when I got kids running over there, so nobody will help me.
Exactly,
Just
that's the
take
same
my
thing that
own.
we did, so.
And when I die or something, it'll probably go to hell, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So sometimes that's where you stand and stuff like that. you know?
Yeah. Well, I just wanna let you know, how I
Okay.
feel about it,
Yeah.
and what, I mean, if the city doesn't wanna do anything about it, just leave things the way it is,
Yeah.
fine. But then we're gonna have to come up with a solution to the maintenance, part.
and the maintenance should revert back to the city then.
There's some page, what's this on that page? Swap land that goes behind those homes?
Off cut is about
10-year period for adverse possession.
So Bob, we'll just try to keep working with something, I don't know.
We want to put a couple together with Bob and try and work through this whole thing. I mean, I want to volunteer
What are we volunteering for?
to help us come up with a resolution to Bob's.
I don't know.
Sure.
So there's 3 right here.
Okay.
Okay, Bob?
Yeah. that's fine.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Anything other under old business?
What's the status of the little library, the little pantry?
Oh, he was just talking about the meeting, over the weekend, you know.
Stidale has it just about complete. The pantry looks like a locker, and then there's a cut in the door with some light stands with a pantry on the front. It's just about ready for powder coat. Is where it's at. So, if anybody wants to suggest any colors to me, on what these things are going to be powder coated. I was thinking, you know, the pantry is gonna be sensitive to heat during the summer. So if you got a can of baked beans in there, you're trying to give somebody less fortunate, you don't want it getting 150 degrees and everything. So I'm thinking like a cream white color, not completely white because we don't want them looking dirty, but, and then the lettering on the front of these things we can do maybe a bright color to kind of jump off that white. Also, the building behind that lot is as white gets, as white as that refrigerator back there. So you don't want them fading into the background either. So I'm thinking maybe like a white with yellow or orange lettering, something like that. But that's the next step. Depending on how long powder coat takes, they might be finished for next council meeting.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, new business. Anybody have any new business they want to bring up? Communications? Any communications?
Yes, just a few things for clarification. I just want to let council know since last meeting it was brought up, the codification of all ordinances starting in May of 2022 on to now have been updated. So I've also chosen to have the system of updating those quarterly so we can stay on track. And then the Rumpke Spring Cleaning Day, I've also talked to Rumpke and come up to an agreement that it will reoccur on every second Saturday of May, that we have our large cleanup day during the spring. So those two things were addressed and we're good to go there.
Are you gonna delete the old ones off the website?
Yeah, I'll change all that stuff also.
Second Saturday of every May, right?
Correct.
Now, do we put on that they don't take paint or tires on the people?
We usually do, I did when I put an invitation.
Yeah, yeah.
The do nots.
Yeah.
Just so everybody.
And I believe Rumpke on their page, they also usually have some sort of thing that's their day that they share that coincides with what they do and they do not pick up. So we can sort of piggyback off of that for clarity.
Okay, need a motion, the bill be paid.
Mike, before you move on that, I apologize, can we go back to one thing on new business?
Okay.
I'd like to recommend that we add a second citywide yard sale date and to coincide with logos, if that's okay. There wasn't a whole lot of activity.
It was a flop. It was a flop.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of activity, and I've heard from some people, why don't you know, do it with logos, because then they've got another city to come to and back and forth. I think that's I think that's a pretty good idea.
What do they have theirs on?
June something,
They have one in June and September.
June or something like that.
Well, when we try that and see if it brings more people driving around.
Just try it one more time, a second one this year, and then if it looks like that turns out better, then move ours to that same date.
Or just have to.
Yeah.
Or have to.
Just have to.
Okay.
So would I need to contact Lobo to see how
Just
that
find out what their date is.
coincides?
I'll find out for you what their date is.
Okay.
I think it's June 8th. I don't
Huh?
know. I think it's June 8th,
June 8th?
if that's a Saturday.
It is.
June 8th. Okay, need a motion the bills be paid?
Make a motion to pay the bills.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion for adjournment?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ready? You know.